Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's going on?
So I just found out that 4.4 million people started business last year in the U.S. alone.
Yeah, I know. I was one of them. And I bet a whole bunch of those were e-commerce businesses.
That's right. A lot of them are growing so quickly now that they can't keep up with orders. This happened to someone I know. They started a business on Etsy. Then they moved to Amazon, and they're crushing it, and they make stickers. Pretty soon, they had too much inventory in their house. They were packing everything themselves, printing, postage, going to the post office all the time. And they actually ended up spending more time with the labor work than they did producing stickers.
Yeah, it's a big waste of time if you're running your own business.
Absolutely. But I do have good news. You don't have to ship your own orders if you run an online store. Fulfill Right can take care of your order fulfillment for you, saving you time, money, and stress. That means more time doing what you love.
Really? Delegating grunt work like shipping to someone you can trust is the secret to business success. Fulfill Right is the most trusted name in order fulfillment. The reviews back the statement up too. Fulfill Right has 5 stars on Shopify, Google reviews, and Trustpilot from over 100 businesses just like your buddies.
Yep. Wow. I'm going to go to fulfillright.com right now, and I'm going to ask for a quote, but I'm going to use the special TechTime link, which is fulfillright.com/TechTime. That's fulfillright.com/TechTime. They're offering $100 off new signups for TechTime listeners. You get a lot when you sign up from these guys. Service includes same-day shipping, real-time order and inventory tracking, dedicated customer service, and volume-based discount.
You know, that sounds like a great way to get your time back if your business is really taking off. To learn more about how Fulfill Right can grow your business, go to fulfillright.com/TechTime for $100 off when you sign up.
I'm signing up today.
Hey, Nathan.
What's up, Mike?
You're a big energy drink guy, right?
Yeah, I only have 1, if not 2 energy drinks a day.
You know, that stuff is overloaded with sugar and ingredients you don't even know how to pronounce.
Yeah, I do.
Have you ever thought of having something that's a little bit more healthy?
Well, you know what? I need something with a little bit of caffeine kick because that's why I use the energy drinks.
Well, you might want to try something else. Try Focus. It's a sparkling water with a spark. Focus is a delicious, health-conscious, thoughtfully caffeinated sparkling water. It's infused with a boost of natural tea caffeine and the balance of L-theanine. You get the clean energy you want without the sugar, calories, or crash.
Wow, that sounds really interesting.
And they have a wide range of flavor, including blood orange, mixed berry, cherry cola.
Cherry cola?
Yeah, crisp apple, root beer, grapefruit.
I like root beer.
Yuzu and lime, cucumber and peach.
Ooh, where can I get some, Mike?
Go to www.drinkfocus.com. That's www.drinkfocus.com. And if you use our code TechTime at checkout, you will get 20% off.
20% off? Wow.
Yeah, can't wait, can you?
I'm going to go buy one of these today. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's going on?
I got some great news for you, Mike. Squadcast is a remote content production platform that makes it super easy for podcasters to create high-quality video and audio remotely. Connect with anyone, anywhere, at any time using the browser-based systems with no apps to download.
Dude!
Every 8 seconds, your recording is saved to the cloud, so you never lose a recording, and you always have a backup on hand. Audio is recorded in separate tracks for easy editing. Up to 10 people are allowed in a session, and screen sharing and recording is also available.
Dude!
Use the one-click audio mastering to make your podcast sound level and resonate to your audience.
Yeah, you've thought about this way too much, man.
I sure have, Mike. Your own private green room to test out your mic and camera levels before you enter the session.
Dude!
Squadcast is on a mission to amplify collaboration and empower its creators.
Dude!
You can even sign up now for the free workshop with 8 tips on improving your podcast show notes. Go to squadcast.fm. That's Squadcast, SQUAD, cast, CAST.FM.
Dude!
And learn more about it today.
Coming to you from the shores of the Pacific Northwest. Keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side. With leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm.
Welcome to TechTime Radio with not Nathan Mumm, a show that makes you go, Technology news of the week. show for everyday common person with insightful segments on subjects weeks ahead of mainstream media. I am not Nathan Mumm. I am usually sitting on the other side of the table. I am Mike Gorday. Welcome to our show as we live stream right from the studio, KKNW 1150 AM, or you can catch us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch from Saturday from 4 to 6. If you are not catching us from 4 to 6 on Saturday, it is a rebroadcast, and I'm not going to talk about Mondays, Tuesdays,
we don't need to
Wednesdays.
go through the whole thing.
Yeah,
once is enough.
That's right. So make sure you visit www.techtimeradio.com to keep up with all the latest information. TechTime Radio is a weekly 2-hour technology show. Talks about current technology in a simple format without having to geek out. We highlight top tech news for the week, along with segments that bring different perspective and highlighted topics. Thank you for joining us. This is hour 2. During this hour, we're going to have our letters segment, which is a fan favorite, where we will be reading this week's email scams and funny phishing attempts. We have an Ask the Expert segment with our friend and TechTime Radio regular guest, Phil Hennessy, who is the CEO of Morpheus Tech and a space enthusiast all the way from his childhood, who is going to help us with the question we want to know is how will people live on Mars, along with a review of the current billionaire space race and what makes them all different. And since Nathan is gone and we've spent quite a lot of time throwing him under the bus, we already know that anything is on the table. Instead of Mike sitting in Mike's chair, we have Gwen sitting in Mike's chair, and she will be challenging both David and I with Two Truths and a Lie later on. And I'm sure that during this hour we're going to make you go, hopefully we're going to make you laugh and have some fun with technology news.
Second hour is always good for a laugh.
Yeah, especially after what we just went through in the first hour with that whiskey.
That's why it's so relaxed for hour 2.
That's right. Welcome to TechTime Radio. I'm your host, Mike Gorday. Where do you go for all of TechTime Radio's information? You go to www.techtimeradio.com. You can watch the stream live, sign up for our newsletter, listen and watch archives, purchase merchandise, which we have here that has replaced our whiskey. We got a water bottle, some magnets, stickers, and keychains. We also have our NFTs, and you can ask us technology questions that we could talk about on the show. Now is the time to engage us on twitch.tv/TechTimeRadio today as our interactive stream, or send us a tweet at TechTimeRadio. You can also call us here in the studio live at 425-373-5527 or 1-888-298-5569. And, of course, you can only call us on Saturdays between 4 and 6. Otherwise, it's a rebroadcast. All right. So now it's time to welcome back Gwen to the show. She is our technology expert that likes to come in when Nathan has gone AWOL. We have our engineer, David, on the board. Start our second hour. We are going to start with our conversation cards from our friends over at the Love Shack Live to start the show. You ready?
Ready.
Ready, David? Have you ever done any public speaking, and how did it go? We'll go with Gwen first. Have you ever done any public speaking?
I have. I actually did a lot of public speaking in high school and college. I was on the debate team. I did extemporaneous speaking as well. Mm-hmm. And I actually made it to state 3 out of the 4 years. So
very nice. So it went well then?
It went relatively well, yeah.
So where'd you place in state?
I never broke above 5th in state, but that's still pretty good for a state, I think.
What was your worst moment? Because that's always fun.
The worst moment I had was probably when somebody presented the exact same case that I was about to present.
Oh.
But they had twisted it to go against me. So it was really interesting to try and figure out how to circumnavigate that on the fly.
Nice. All right, what about you, David?
Probably, when I was over at college, which, by the way, that was Washington State University.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm a cougar. Probably for, the public speaking classes, and I believe the last time was a class called Seminar in Broadcasting, Well, it went well enough. I mean, I passed and I graduated, so it went well.
There you go.
Okay. And you haven't done any since?
No, not unless you count, coaching and having to talk to parents. But other than that, no.
Okay.
I mean, this almost counts as public speaking in a certain way.
This does count. I have been a public speaker for many years. I enjoy it. It's one of my favorite things to do. I have done also trainings and things. I think my worst moment is when I'm getting brain freeze. Where you're trying to say something and suddenly you realize there's all these people looking at you, and your brain just goes.
And that one word that you're searching for just, poof.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And so you don't know exactly what to do, and you start to sweat, and it's just really uncomfortable. And then you cuss a lot, and then maybe not.
I mean, that solves it. Yeah.
Okay. So that was our question. You can catch the Love Shack on KKNW Thursdays from 1 to 2, which I would totally recommend you do, not because I'm on the show occasionally, but it's a great show if you're really interested in relationship and questions about relationships.
Very nice.
All right, so let's get on with our episode. I'm still reeling from that liquor. With our informative emails that Nathan receives. Nathan, the interesting thing about phishing scams is that when you actually start clicking on these, what happens?
You get way more. So we've talked about this many, many times about not clicking on things because you alert everybody and their mother that you are just ready, willing, and able to accept all these things. So yep.
Nathan gets a lot of these. We're going to read those in just a second.
Letters, we get letters. We get back and back of letters. Oh, letters, we get letters. And the letters all have songs.
All right, so here we are with from Maria Angel Jimenez Torres. And that is jimenez.maria@uces.edu.co. That's Colorado. Right?
.co is actually usually kind of like .com, but
That's
we
right.
usually see it outside the U.S.
So this is hi. This is the second time I'm sending you this mail. I, Mavis Wanzik.
Oh, we
donates-
switched names.
Yes. I, Mavis that's what you want to pay attention to, right?
Yep.
I, Mavis Wanzik, that's WANCZYK, and I probably just butchered that pretty badly, but donates $5 million from part of my Powerball jackpot lottery of $758 million. Respond with your details for claims. I await your earliest response, and God bless you. Good luck, Mrs. Mavis L. Wanzik.
Amazing.
This kind of sounds like the Nubian prince.
It's very closely related, yeah. I have a bunch of money, and I can't touch it, so I'm going to give you money.
Yeah, which would be really nice if it were real.
I can't imagine that there are a lot of human psychological states that would lead people to do that, though.
Oh, yeah, there is.
Is there?
There's.
Well, not to accept or try to accept this, but to actually, if I have $750 million, am I going to just randomly email people and give it away?
No.
Okay.
Probably not. If you're talking about the person that's actually sending
Sending,
this, so it's either
exactly.
Maria Angel Jimenez Torres or Mavis Wanzik. No, but
yeah,
people who respond to this.
Oh yeah.
There are definite psychological reasons why, and one of those is just basic need. We all need money, and if somebody's going to give us money, and it operates from a state of scarcity. We don't have it, we want it, we need it, and somebody who's offering can get us start thinking about all the problems we have with financial situations and say this is the quickest solution to get out of this pain.
Right.
And so we click on that.
Don't click on that.
Don't click on that. don't respond to that because you're going to end up getting yourself into trouble.
Exactly.
All right, so you read one.
I have a lovely one here. It's from ee-services.com support.
It's from EE Services?
That's what it says.
Awesome.
The actual email address, though, is jeff@thefilmfactory.ca. Outlook. Dear Nathan, due to recent server update, you are required to apply the security update. Apply security update now to avoid email interruption. Apply update, and then gives Nathan's email address. And then a bunch of random letters and numbers signing off with ee-services.com.
And that is funny because why?
That is funny because EE Services is Nathan's company, and Nathan is EE Services support.
So Jeff, you got it wrong, man.
I mean, you tried. But definitely if you are getting an email from your own company that you did not send, more than likely it's not legitimate.
Probably. So again, with all this that we talk about in this segment, it's really just paying attention to the details. Look at who's sending it. Look at the way they're talking about things. Like the last one I read was just really grammatically incorrect. And anyway, so this one is from Winona P. question mark.
So Winona is not sure who she is.
So Winona apparently doesn't know who she is. And it's a long string of alphanumeric characters at securedates.nn.r.appspot.com.
Wow.
And it was sent to Nathan. The subject, your little Winona. Your little Winona. Question mark.
Question mark. She's still not sure who she is.
Right. And then it's got some incredibly long links with one single sentence that say, hey, I saw you, heart, outside several days ago and found you here. What a coincidence. Or maybe I should consider it as a sign. Let's hook up. Open her profile at hugely long link to view more girls. How's that?
That's definitely a nope from me, dog. Yeah, you saw this kind of thing in chat rooms a lot, but because people don't really frequent chat rooms anymore, they've kind of moved it to email, and I think it's more obvious there.
What happens if I click on this link?
You could do a couple of different things. Number one, you're telling them that you exist and that you're responsive, so they're going to send you a lot more emails from Winona.
Maybe.
You're also probably going to end up downloading a virus.
Right. That's the important piece here. You're more than likely going to an adult site.
Oh yes, that's 100% an adult site, and yeah, anything that you download there is not going to be good. Number one, and anything that you download there is probably going to corrupt your machine. And
again, they're taking advantage of your basically your sex drive. If you're willing to entertain this link, you are going to get yourself into trouble.
Exactly. I have something similar here. This one is from Oliva, Oliva Sullivan. The actual email address, though, is nickgorge3@gmail.com. So keep that in mind.
Awesome.
I'm going to bring you all in here a little closer. Hi, I'm Oliva Sullivan. I was looking for an old business associate of mine before I came across your profile. I must confess, I like your profile, but I'll be delighted if we can be friends and know more about each other. I would also like to connect with you on a more professional level. Hope to hear from you soon.
Sounds a little like a LinkedIn thing.
Oh, it's yeah, they're trying. They are trying to walk that delicate balance between the one that you just read and a LinkedIn, hey, you want to connect?
Right.
So, yeah, it's a combination of the two.
Perfect. Okay, here's one this is from Nathan at FHA Loan Specialist.
Oh.
Which is, again, an an incredibly long alphanumeric string at brightlane.org.uk. And the subject is confirmation receipt. Dear Nathan.
It's good already.
Your home loan can go under review for the Freddie Mac or Fannie Mae Relief Refinance Mortgage Program. This review may enable you to streamline your mortgage into a new 30-year fixed interest rate with a lower monthly payment. View these refinance opportunities available for a short time here. And that's a link. The Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae Relief Finance programs are designed to provide customers with a more stable mortgage product while streamlining the underwriting process. Here are some of the new guidelines of this program.
More links.
Bullet point, right? Loan to value up to 105%. Investment property and second homes may be eligible. Appraisal waivers may be available. You may qualify to save up to $350 monthly on interest alone. This program is only available for a limited time as rates may change. Follow this link to see if you qualify. A. It's got an A on the end.
Qualify A.
Right. Qualify A. If you wish to no longer receive emails from FHA Rate Guide, click here. And it's got an address in Los Angeles. If you no longer wish to receive emails from an affiliate, follow the instructions below. Okay, so this is presenting some information that may be true.
It might be legitimate. It sounds like it could be.
It does sound legitimate. But more than likely, if I click on the links, I'm going to be shuttled somewhere else.
Yep. And it's going to ask you to input information such as probably your income, your social security number, your address, all kinds of stuff that could be used to, take out a credit card.
There we go. All right. So I think that's gonna do it for that segment. We're gonna wrap up our letters segment. If you have a great technology question or an idea for a segment idea and you'd like to share it with us, go to www.techtimeradio.com, click on Be a Caller, and submit the idea so we can get it on the show. So up next, we're going to have our special interview with our Tech Time Radio co-respondent, that was an interesting word, Nathan, and CEO for Morpheus Tech. We're going to be talking about the space race and what are the difference between each of the different billionaire solutions. You'll want to know this information for your office dog. We have a few questions to ask Phil Hennessy about the space race. We'll be right back in just a moment right here at Tech Time Radio.
Upper Left Corner is a PNW true crime podcast now streaming on all major podcast platforms. If you get excited when your favorite true crime podcast tells a story about a place that you've been to or the town that you live in, then Upper Left Corner podcast is for you. Each week, I tell you a story of a crime that has taken place in the PNW and give you background about the town the crime occurred in. If you like true crime, check out Upper Left Corner podcast, now available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and more.
Ace Hardware is a helpful place with prompt, friendly service, knowledge, and the little things that make a big difference.
Service.
Selection.
Advice.
Community involvement.
Competitive prices.
Convenience.
Located near you.
And the things you need, such as
house keys,
lawn and garden,
plumbing,
electrical,
hardware,
grills,
outdoor living supplies,
and even nuts and bolts.
When you visit Ace Hardware, you'll be greeted at the door and given the help you need.
So come visit us at Ace Hardware in Evergreen Way in Everett, Lake Stevens, and now Stanley.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Welcome back to Tech Time Radio with Not Nathan Mumm. I'm Mike Gorday. If you want to join us on the show, we ask you to jump on the phone at 425-373-5527. Again, that is 425-373-5527 or 1-888-298-KKNW, which is 1-888-298-5569. You can also hit us up at Twitter at TechTimeRadio. Lucky to have Gwen on the show today, taking my spot while I sit in Nathan's spot. And today, let's get ready to start our next segment, all about the space and the final frontier with our guest, Phil Hennessy.
This is a segment we call Ask the Experts.
Hi, Phil.
Hey, Mike.
So this is
Mike. Hey, Gwen. How you guys doing?
Hi,
Good.
doing well.
How are you?
Good.
Are you drinking anything today?
Unfortunately, not. I'm traveling for work and don't have anything with me right now.
Okay, we would
might
like to
be
not
good.
recommend you getting some R&R Canadian whiskey. It was just not good.
No.
So this is the first time that I've been sitting in Nathan's seat, and we are certainly glad to have you on the show. Nathan said he had a great talk with you about space and a bunch of other things since I was not on that call. And Nathan didn't let me know about that call. And he's away today doing some laughing at the revenge of the whiskey, Canadian whiskey. Let's get some background here. So, when did you have an interest in space or space travel? Tell us a little bit about that.
Super young. I've been reading sci-fi books forever, and just probably 8-10 years old with some of the old space movies and everything like that. One comes to mind called Explorers. A bunch of kids find a little spacecraft or something. They go off, Starfighter, those types of things. Back in Star Wars, of course, my dad took me to Star Wars when I was 5 years old. So all those things got me into space, and always dreamed I was going to be an engineer, and wanted to be an aerospace engineer. And then the Cold War ended, so becoming a mechanical engineer. But during that time, I went to Space Camp, Space Academy, all that fun stuff, and ended up. One of my first jobs is for an aerospace corp company, and I have one part that I designed that's in space in the International Space Station.
Oh, so that's exciting.
Cool.
Yes, that's
just nothing exciting. It's just this little board holder, electronic board holder, but it's mine and it's in space.
I was going to say, even if it's nothing more than an O-ring, that's exciting because it's yours and in space.
It's a cup holder. I want a cup holder that's in space.
Right?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
So I followed space technology my entire life, and then when I was in nuclear power for a little bit, we studied. Failures of other type of very complex systems. One of the things we studied was the Space Shuttle Challenger failure.
Mm-hmm.
One of the little things on that one, I faked sick with my mom to stay home and watch that launch. Unfortunately, it was a very sad day that day, but I faked sick to watch the launch. So I was at home in front of the TV in the living room watching that launch.
Yeah, we had our school was set up to watch that launch. So we were all at school watching that.
We had one television for the entire school, and were the lucky class that got to watch, which was great in theory, but then they just cycled all of the other classes to watch as it reran the tragedy. Mm-hmm. So it was just a full day of it. It was awful.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
All right. So growing up as a kid, did you have a favorite astronaut?
I did. I actually did not. I was more interested in the rockets than the people, I'll be quite honest. So, more in the technology. So no, I didn't. I mean, obviously, the Apollo astronauts, Armstrong, and those were very, very exciting to me, and that kind of stuff. But in terms of space shuttle astronauts and those, I couldn't tell you a name besides some that were on the Challenger, which you want me to mention today. But yeah, I honestly don't. And I've met some. I have their autographs. When I went to Space Academy, I couldn't even tell you their names.
That's kind of funny. I share that same experience when I was talking with Nathan about that question. I was like, I don't remember. All I remember is the Apollo guys, and that's it.
Right.
So
yeah, I mean, they're amazing people, well trained, but I couldn't tell you one of them.
Well, I don't think they get as much credit as they should in national media, honestly.
No.
We're not given their names. We're given the names of the ship and what they're doing theoretically, but yeah.
Right. I mean, I look at the Dragon launch that SpaceX just did. I went to the first launch in Florida. Unfortunately, it was scrubbed. I missed the then they had to launch the next day. I missed that one, but I went to see it launch in Florida, and I couldn't even tell the astronauts on that, but I could tell you all about the spaceship.
Yep.
I know, right? All right, so let's get to some of the information that you and Nathan talked about. And the first question is, which billionaire is winning the space race and why?
Okay, that's a good one. So I would say Musk definitely is. You have Musk, you have Branson, and you have Bezos, obviously, right? So
right.
And really, it's two different technologies. You have Musk and Bezos really trying to do larger lift capability and reusable rockets, and Musk has a huge lead on that. And then you have Branson with his more of a tourist type of launch and also very small, low Earth, small satellites and small cargo, and two completely different technologies. So I would say Musk is number one. I mean, just flat out. I mean, he is making the next Starship, the heavy lift Starship platform, is going to be the most powerful rocket ever built. It's going to be more powerful than the SLS, which is the one that's taking the U.S. NASA program that's taking us to the moon. And then he just won the moon lander contract for that and beat out Jeff Bezos.
Wow.
Yes.
Which is quite interesting because Jeff Bezos' system, the moon system, was based off of really known technology. He partnered with Northrop Grumman, I believe, and I forget the other major contractor. But he had a huge legacy system. Everything he had been designing a Blue Origin lander before he did this program, and because Congress cut back the amount of money needed for the moon lander program, they wanted to have two in the program out of three that they were doing. They went back to one, and Musk won it. And this is basically funding his Starship program to go from moon and now then to Mars. It's and the really interesting thing here on this one is, so you think about it, you have the SLS launch system, which is smaller than the Starship, the heavy lift Starship program, in terms of capability. So you're launching 3 people up to 6 people on the SLS system. And the Starship program in the future will be able to take 100 people. So you could go right to the moon and back again, literally, with the Starship program, but we're using the SLS to launch 3 people to the moon. Then we're launching another rocket with the Starship program, launching that moon rocket, launching that to the moon, and then they're going to dock with that around the moon, and then they're going to take the SpaceX rocket down, which is 10 times larger than the rocket, the spacecraft that took them to the moon.
Wow.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah, that is.
So I have to ask, because this is, I also was a huge fan of space as a child for obvious reasons. Is this the next step in getting the moon base? Are we going to actually have people living on the surface?
The Artemis program by NASA is definitely supposed to be that. They're going to have a gateway program, and then they're going to start having that as a space stepping stone to Mars from the moon. But I mean, Musk is saying we could just do it right away with their Starship program.
Yeah.
So either way, I think we'll have people on the moon and Mars over the next 50 years. Just a matter of when, not if now, in my opinion, with what's going on. But, politics change. But I mean, Musk is the unknown here, and if he does it, he's going to do some amazing things. But back to the original question, number one is Musk. I would say Branson is winning past Bezos right now, and the reason is he is an operational spacecraft and aircraft, because what he has a plane that takes off right with the rocket underneath. A small rocket can take, I think, 6 to 8 people, I forget the amount of folks, right? And then they can go up into space above 50 miles. They can hang out there for a couple, 15 minutes or so, and then they come back down again. And really, he's selling a ticket for a ride on that thing at $250,000 plus.
Well,
he can, yeah, exactly. And you can do that. He's signing people up. I think I read, don't quote me on this, but I think I read he has over 400 or 4,000 people already signed up. I forget the number exactly.
And I think I think I read that Musk actually signed up.
No, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be funny. That's pretty cool. And he did make his first flight on July 11th, like he said, right?
Yep, just to beat Bezos.
Yep.
Yes, exactly. He wanted to stick it to Bezos, and he did.
He did.
And now there's a big debate of where the line to space is, because Bezos says that Branson hasn't crossed the line to space. U.S. astronauts get their astronaut wings over 50 miles. Branson went 53 or 50, 52, 53 miles, and Bezos saying that's still not enough because it didn't pass another line.
And Bezos is planning to go up to 65, isn't it?
Yes, something like that. Yes, exactly. So it's like, okay.
Whose ego is bigger here?
Pretty much.
Okay, Phil.
Yep.
Thanks. That's great information. We need to go to a commercial break, but I have a question for you to think about while we are on break, and that is traveling to Mars safe, and will we end up dying on Mars as the science fiction shows always portrays? Think about that, and then join us back here for that insight right after our break. You're listening to Tech Time Radio with not Nathan Mumm, who is out, but we'll be back next week.
Hello, my name is Arthur, and my life's work is connecting people with coffee. Story Coffee is a small batch specialty coffee company that uses technology to connect people to each product resource, which allows farmers to unlock their economic freedom. Try our Medium Roast Founder Series coffee, which is an exotic bourbon variety that is smooth, fresh, and elegant at storycoffee.com. That's STORI coffee.com. Today you can get your first bag free when you subscribe at storycoffee.com with code TechTime. That's STORI coffee.com.
Hi, this is Lisa Downs, host of Reigniting You, a new show here on KKNW that explores a variety of topics and timely issues for making mid to late career transitions. I'll be here every Wednesday afternoon at 3 o'clock bringing you guest interviews, career transition advice, and great stories to guide you to what's next in your career and life. Gain a renewed sense of purpose for your next phase with a positive, forward-looking approach. Get ready to be re-energized, recharged, and reignited Wednesdays at 3 o'clock.
Welcome back to Tech Time Radio. We are talking with the CEO of Morpheus Tech and our space expert, Phil Hennessy. Welcome back, Phil. When we left, we asked you about traveling to Mars being safe and what that's going to look like. So let's dive into that question real quick. What do you think about it?
Sure. I think you're going to have challenges in the spacecraft and the technology like anything else. I think you're going to have failures, and they're going to be catastrophic, and you're going to have people die. There's deaths, unfortunately, we talked about just in the NASA program, and SpaceX has lost spacecraft. Not any recently that I can think of, but they have lost spacecraft in their program, and this is a long way to go. Even with redundant systems can fail, and it could be anything. And also, just one of the things that's going to be interesting to me is how they protect from radiation. Over 20 years on Mars, you're getting a dose on Mars of radiation is more. And I used to work in nuclear power, right? So I used to get radiation at work in nuclear reactors, and it's more radiation that you would get than you're allowed to get from the Department of Energy per year that you get over 1 year at Mars.
Wow.
So you get more than your normal dose that you're allowed by DOE working in a nuclear reactor per year.
That's something we never hear about on these movies about the radiation levels.
Exactly.
And Mike, radiation affects the mind. And what's going to happen in 10 years with that annual dose every year? Nobody knows. So that, and then if a suit fails, what happens, or if, you run out of water. And one of the things I was reading about is, what that you don't even think about, but Musk wants to put 1 million people on the Mars over, who knows how many years. But he's like, you got to ship so much vitamin C just to prevent scurvy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of funny, right? In a weird way that we're worried about scurvy on a space flight to Mars.
Yeah, kind of going backwards.
Yeah.
Now, with the radiation and honestly the water and the scurvy and all of that, obviously the best solution would be to terraform Mars. Do you think that that's something that's possible, or is that just science fiction book?
I think that's science fiction for a while. Terraforming is just and that's a generational thing too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the the first folks that are going to be there are going to have greenhouses and grow their own vegetables, and you're going to have to figure out how to take some animals up there and maybe have chickens and pigs. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do up there. I mean, but if you're going to sustain what his goal is 1 million people, you're going to have some type of agriculture system that's going to be more than just plants, in my opinion. I mean, that's just that. How do you raise pigs on Mars? I mean,
how do you raise pigs on the journey to Mars? Well, that's a minimum of 4 months.
Yes, exactly. And then again, it goes back to the radiation and everything else and everything. So you're not just designing then systems for people, you're designing systems for animals, which is all another complexity in engineering systems to do. It's mind-boggling what he wants to launch 3 starships, I think a day for 1,000 starships a year to take equipment and material and people there.
Wow.
It just blows the mind, his plan. But I think we'll have something small. I think you're going to have failures, and I think people have the capability of dying. And then obviously it's designed as a one-way trip, so people will die eventually of natural, quote unquote, natural causes, but that could be a high incidence of cancer.
Right.
You could have cancer out the wazoo out there.
Yeah. And then we always have to think about the generational issues that are going to arise from this type of exposure. And
Children born on Mars
are going to be like, in the adaptive properties of all the things going on. So there's a lot that we never hear about this stuff in the sci-fi movie, but there's a lot of stuff that goes into these types of questions. And
and there's just the spare parts, having everything, the spare parts you need for all that to sustain, and the 3D printers, and they're going to have to put these things underground to protect from the radiation. So you got to dig that all out. So you got to have big, huge loaders to move the dirt that you're going to do to put these things underground. I mean, that's just the whole. So Caterpillar or John Deere are going to have to design something for space.
Wow.
Right, here we go. A John Deere tractor on Mars.
Exactly. Yeah, taking care of the pigs and putting some dirt on top of your habitats.
All right. Okay, so let us bring it back a little bit to our current thing that's going on. And one of the questions that we want to know is, why do reusable spacecraft land on ships?
Okay, great question. So, everybody thinks a spaceship just takes off and goes straight up, goes on a parabola to go around the Earth to catch that, right? So we typically, you see is with the Apollo program or space shuttle program, they drop stuff into the ocean because they're going hundreds of miles away when they drop off that next stage and it falls into the ocean. Mm-hmm. Well, in this case, that next stage needs to re-land because it's a re-landing system now. Well, and that re-landing system doesn't have enough fuel to come back to its launch site. So instead, they put it on a ship. They land it on a ship in the middle of the ocean, and that's why. So it's not coming back. People probably would think it's going to come back to where it launched from. It's too far away. So it has to land somewhere else. In this case, if you're launching off of Florida, you're going to have to land in the ocean, and hence you need these ships. And Bezos is also, for the Blue Origin systems, the New Shepard and the other ones, the New Glenn he's designing are also going to have to land on a ship as well.
Okay, and you brought up Blue Origin ship. One of the questions we have here is that it has room for 6 astronauts. The spacious and pressurized crew capsule is environmentally controlled for comfort, and every passenger gets their own window seat. The vehicle is fully autonomous, so everybody on board is a passenger, and there are no pilots. Isn't this just a luxury cruiser?
Yes. I mean, and it brings up a whole other thing. Like, let me ask you a question back to you. Would you fly in a commercial aircraft that had no pilots?
Not me.
Not right now.
So
they can't even get autonomous cars to work right. I'm not going to Johnny Cab onto a rocket.
Exactly.
Well, so that's kind of I understand autopilot, I understand everything else, but NASA systems are all person manned, and they're all interact with the systems. You have autopilot on an aircraft, right? But the pilot still can take over that autopilot. we talked about self-driving cars another time I was here. I would not drive a self-driving car without a steering wheel. Well, I would not go on a rocket without a steering wheel too.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm a little leery of that technology right now. So.
Yeah, I'm definitely leaning Virgin Galactic. If and when I make my 4th million, that's about a good time
when I can
fly.
afford to have a ticket to Mars,
right?
I'll be dead already. But okay. Well, thank you, Phil. I think it's been great to have you on your show. I'm really glad that you're here to help us out with some of these more interesting conversations about space travel and things. Where can people connect with you if they want to learn more?
Phil at MorpheusTech.com. That's Phil at Morpheus, MorpheusTech.com. So that would be great. Love to hear from people. Love to help them out with any questions they have.
Perfect. All right.
Excellent.
Thank you, Phil. Appreciate your time.
All right. Thanks, folks. Take care.
Thank you.
Well, that ends our great interview with Phil. Coming up next, Gwen is going to see if she can stump David and me in a 2 truths and a lie where she's going to give us, I think you're going to give us, like Nathan does, and give us 3 headlines and see if we can suss out which is the fake one.
They're all space related in honor of Phil.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll come right back and we'll talk about that. So thanks for hanging out. This is Tech Time Radio. I'm Mike Gorday, and we have Gwen over here.
Hey, honey, did you hear what I heard?
What's that, babe?
I heard Mike over there at TechTime Radio. He's like battling he's in the like that the swimming with the sharks in that singles arena, if you will.
Oh, bless his heart. And I also heard, like you did, that maybe things aren't going so great. You know what he needs, babe?
I think he needs to spend a little time in Love Shack.
Yeah, Love Shack. The Love Shack that airs every Thursday at 1 p.m. PST on KKNW 1150.
Come on, Mike. Come on over and join us. We got you.
Your business deserves the same expertise as that of a Fortune 500 company. If you need a CIO-level service, why hire a full-time staff member at $250,000 a year when you can get this on-demand service for fractions of the cost? As your CIO on demand, we'll give you the steps you need to take so as to minimize interruption to your business and profitability, and provide you and your business with training and education to prevent future attacks. To get an efficiency review for your business today, contact us at www.ee-services.com.
Hey, Mike, as a business owner, why do we form an LLC or a corporation?
Well, that's pretty simple. We want to protect ourselves personally from the liability of the company.
That's right, Mike. The very next thing we should be doing as business owners is protecting ourselves personally from the finances of the company.
Right. Yeah, that's why you want to get help, and you can get help from The Business Doctor, which was founded by Dr. Glenn Smith, PhD in business management, accounting, and finance. Schedule your free business evaluation and consultation at thebusinessdoctor.us.
Enroll in the Rapid Business Credit Builder program and get up to 100K business credit under the company's EIN and the DUNS number in less than 6 months. The DUNS number is really important for your rating when you purchase other items from other businesses, never having to use personal credit ever again. That's thebusinessdoctor.us or call 866-383-1030. Again, that's 866-383-1030 or thebusinessdoctor.us.
Visit The Business Doctor today.
Welcome back to Tech Time Radio. I'm Mike Gorday. Okay, we're going to go into our next segment. This should be interesting. David, let's go.
And now we have 2 truths and a lie.
All right, Gwen. Let's see what you got.
All right. I'm going to do this a little differently than Nathan does. I'm going to give you the headline, and I'm going to give you a little information about the story.
Okay.
So it'll take a little bit longer to get to the final result, but I think we'll be okay.
Okay.
So the first headline: Amazon buys Facebook space internet team. This is a team of 12 people who will be bolstering Amazon's satellite broadband initiative called Project Cougar.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2. NASA continues to be unsuccessful in switching backup computer on Hubble Space Telescope. They have been required to switch the backup computer to compensate for a problem with the original payload computer, so the main computer, which took place on June 13th.
Okay.
And finally, new NASA moon maps help developers plan lunar road trip for Viper's Artemis mission. And Viper stands for Volatile Investigating Polar Exploration Rover.
Okay. All right. So
ring the bell. Ding, ding, ding. Let's go.
All right, David. What do you think is the lie?
I'm going to go up the middle. Number 2.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go with number 1. The Amazon buying Facebook people.
So number 3 is
give David a prize.
Oh my goodness, that's like the first time.
David won.
David won.
Oh my God. Yay.
And the difference there is that NASA was actually able to successfully replace the backup computer on July 15th.
Okay. This is the interesting thing about this, because everybody's always calling me the lie detector, and I keep telling them they're not. You constructed a lie where you just switched out one key piece of information.
That usually happens with this segment. It's one word, or a previous one was one Disney park.
Yeah, that's why this is a little difficult to detect, because there's no cognitive load going on. And what cognitive load means is that there's no leakage. There's nothing that's creating any sort of short changes in her system so that we can see leakage. So all we can do is...
There's no blocking or spikes in behavior.
There's no behavior issues that we can look at, because all you've done is taken one piece of this information and flipped it. And this is how to tell a lie. The best lies are half truths. So this is why this is a hard thing. People think, why are you doing this? We're looking for cognitive load. We're looking for all kinds of different things in here. And this is how Nathan has figured out how to beat me. When he was first doing this, he had some really interesting ways of changing the information.
Yes, Nathan, if you're listening, you finally get to put one on the board for me.
That's right. So David gets one on the board, which is funny because it's usually the middle one that's the lie. Anyway, all right. So that's great. Thanks, Gwen, for tackling that. It's been an exciting 2 hours, I think.
It has.
Next week, Nathan is going to have a lot of sucking up.
He's going to have a lot of explaining to do.
That's right, especially for the liquor, but he'll be back next week.
And he'll bring you one that you'll absolutely love, because that's usually what happens.
Yeah, you better bring something really good. So, all right, so we're gonna start signing off here. If you want some more information, go to www.techtimeradio.com. Sign up for our newsletter, watch our previous shows, check out our merch. We got some here. We got some stickers, some keychains, water bottles. We also have our NFTs, which are basically comprised of what I scribble in the first hour of the show. Other than that, I'm Mike Gourday. We have Gwen Way, who is in the tech position today, and then we got David behind the board giving us signals and salutes and whatnot.
And signs.
Thank you all from us at TechTime Radio, the show that makes you go, Have a great day, and we hope to see you here from 4 to 6 live next week at KKNW, 1150 a.m. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us on TechTime Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment in technology today. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service from Apple to Google and everything in between. And also signing up on our YouTube page, where you get to see us live in video. Yep, you can see us chat and have some fun. It's youtube.com/TechTimeRadio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at TechTime Radio, remember, Mumm's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.